Hello everybody, Hebro77 here. Okay, so I just wanted to make this video because I made a video called the Mandela Affected Family series, and I was talking about how these play sets, I've got the Newcastle Grayskull here. A lot of your play sets have things that just don't make sense, illogical sense. You know what I'm saying? Like how you get to one place to another, sort of thing. That's what I was talking about, and I think I have it all worked out on here. But I'll give you an example of play sets that just don't make sense logically. When the toy companies were designing these things. And when you're a kid, of course, you're expected to use your imagination. I get that for the most part. But when I was a kid, my toy sets had to have sort of logic to it. Got here is the Ghostbusters Firehouse. Everyone had this toy when they were a kid, right? So you got the fire pole. And you got these three levels. You got the basement here. I don't know why that gun's there. Get that gun out of here. That gun out of here. But anyway, you got the basement here where the Ecto 1 went. And then you got the library area here. I used to use this area here for the bathroom. And then of course you got the top here, which is, I just always assumed this was their bedroom. So you got the fire pole here. And then you got this platform that they all stand on, which I'll demonstrate how that works if you didn't have one of these when you're a kid. So basically, you take your figure, in this case we'll make it Dr. Peter Venkman, and you'd sit him on this crap. And it had the foot pegs. I guess I was still recording. So, and then you do this. And there you go. That's how they got downstairs. Now the issue with this that I had when I was a little kid is there's no stairs. There's no way for them to get up here. I guess, you know, you put a ladder in there. That'd solve the problem. But that ladder wouldn't get you. Let's see. Ladder there. Saggy suggested putting a fireman ladder up there for some reason. I don't know what the heck he was talking about. I don't think even he knows what the heck he's talking about half the time. But anyway, we got a this part here that he's standing on. There are no stairs, no way for him to get up there. So when I was a kid, I always just pretended like this was a hydraulic lift. Just takes him right up, and he can just hop off from there, get to that floor, or he could take it all the way up and lock it into place, and there you go, he goes to bed. So that was one logical thing to do with these guys. So anyway, that's a demonstration of how toy companies don't really make any sense when they're drawing out plans for these toys and stuff. Now on the air, I had Castle Grayskull. I want to send him down one more time. I had Castle Grayskull, and whoa, there he went. They usually always did that. And the Castle Grayskull had this ladder, which I'll show you here in a minute. And I think I was sitting the ladder in the wrong place. Got Castle Grayskull. Here's your Castle Grayskull. Here's the top of Castle Grayskull. This is what it looks like when it's closed. Now here's the point that I wanted to make. Instructions, it shows the place of the ladder and where it's supposed to go. So you take your ladder and you go up to this part here. But here's the issue. I'll show you that here in just a second. Well, I don't know if you could see in here, but here's your issue with the trapdoor. You can open it from the inside, you just have to work on it for a little bit. But the problem again isn't that, let's see, just have to push on this. Why, first of all, why make it hard there for people to open it like that? Why can't you just have it where it's unlatched and still closed as with the original? That makes no sense to me. So now let's get to the meat at hand here. So okay, the castle, I was talking about the ladder is supposed to go here, which is true. It does go here. You take your ladder. I gotta move this out of the way a little bit. There we go. You take your ladder. There's a spot there. And it rests comfortably here. Okay, fine. But now the question is, let's say you got an action figure. In this case, we'll use Michael Keaton because I don't got any of my He-Man figures out except for the Sorceress. So he climbs up the ladder. He's on here. Now we assume he got here from the elevator. The elevator takes you to these second levels, which is what it's supposed to do. You're across here and you want to go here. Well, that's all good and well, but of course you got the trapdoor. Now, my theory is this. You go up here. Now you're up here, right? You're on this platform. The question is, how do you get from this platform to that platform? I'll answer that in just a moment. And also, how would you get to this platform to this platform? I'll answer that in just a moment. Now, obviously there is a place for the ladder here. We established that. Now you come over here and you look at the throne, which I think this is where this conversation all took place. There's two slots here also, which line up perfectly with your ladder. Now I've given this a lot of thought. Now let's say your Sorceress, which she doesn't fly, by the way. She turns into a bird creature, the Zoar. Now the Zoar can fly around. She has wings, but she can't fly. Anyway, so you're sitting there on the throne. Your ladder's here. Now obviously anyone going up the ladder is going to have trouble getting to this floor. That's not what the ladder is for. This is what I figured out. So you're sitting in your throne chair. If you go this way, you'll be standing on the trapdoor. Now you could probably jump over the trapdoor, which is kind of hazardous and silly in some way. Or you can just go over it a billion times or not, and it probably won't trigger. It's not going to trigger unless someone's in here with you and they turn the chair. But if you're sitting up there, the more practical way for you to exit would be to go down the ladder. Now, you may ask, well, it's probably more practical for her to get there by using the elevator. Now, we talked about how this elevator isn't reliable. Well, that's not 100% true. You could stand a figure on there if he's got the proper foot peg and you pull the elevator up. Now the vintage one didn't have foot pegs, so we'll just, there you go. He made it up there with no issues. Okay, but that's not a He-Man figure, so if you're up here with no issues, and this platform actually sits lower than this one, so you'd have to stretch your leg up there. You're up there. Like I said, you can cross across this way, no problem, billions of times, and it'll never trigger. But what about after time, this mechanism just gets weak and it just pops down for no apparent reason? That is what happened with the old Castle Grayskull, after all. And it does happen. So now, you're going to take a chance. This thing will spring sooner or later, especially after you have it for a few years. So now your action figures, they have no choice. They go up the ladder to get into the throne chair. They go down the ladder to get out of the throne chair. So I could see why they made this sort of a spot for the throne chair. And maybe I'm digging too deep into this. Alright, now let's put our elevator down. And get this little gargoyle guy. Elevator down. Okay, elevator's down. And, okay, it's down. It's in its place. Now, I want to talk to you about Vantage Point, like an airplane point. The castle, when it's opened up like this, it represents two halves. But what it's actually doing by showing these two halves is it's showing you from a different perspective, a point of view in which you probably sort of like a map point of view or an airplane point of view. In other words, when you're looking at your house from an airplane and you see like the whole square footage and all that, and it just looks weird. Or seeing it from Google Maps or Google Earth, for example. That's a perfect example. Would be sort of, you know, like weird or whatever. So we'll put it that way. So, alright. The castle's inside. You're seeing it with two halves. So these platforms are two platforms. Which is true, sort of. But when you close the castle is closed, the two platforms are together, and I pointed this out early on. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So if it's closed and those figures are on the inside, the only reason it is open and is split in two halves is for our benefit, so we can see what's going on in there. We're getting sort of an X-ray sort of panorama point of view of what's inside the castle. But if you use your imagination and pretend they got the ladder up to here, which is what the designers did, they put the ladder where you can get up to here, then you're already standing on this platform. Or, I mean, it's up to here, then you're already standing on this platform. So, it's like an invisible wall that's not there. That's an invisible force field that you can't see. It's like that plank in Indiana Jones in The Last Crusades where he throws the dirt on there and he sees it, but he only sees it if he truly believes it's there. Because that whole movie's about faith and religion, you know. So, here was the problem. How to get to this gunner. Alright? Because there is no possible way. That was the whole joke of He-Man. He was jumping up there trying to get to this, to man the gun. When the castle is closed, let's assume that our main character, which is Michael Keaton in this case, has taken the ladder up to, which one is it? This platform. While he was inside the castle. Castle's closed. He's inside the castle. There's a ladder down here somewhere. He's up here now. And now he wants to man the gun. And just keep in mind also Masters Universe figures are kind of bigger than this. So he can go about it two ways. He can now climb his way up there and scoot on his belly and get over here and man the gun. This is not here. This is an imaginary barrier because he's inside the castle. Oh wait, that doesn't make sense, does it? No, this would be the roof. Okay. This is the roof. This is the castle closed. But let's assume that this is just, it's not there. Like so he climbs over on his belly and he's manning the gun from that position. Now he could lay across this. It's not the safest thing to do. But now and then when the castle opens up, he's protecting, he's on the gun. Or he can climb up on his feet and just walk over to the gun if he's one of those guys that ain't afraid of heights, which I am. Or he can walk over here, he could scoot on his butt and get over there, get to the gun. However, castle's closed. We're assuming this, getting to the roof, this part of the roof, is from the inside. The gun is on the outside. So now we're presented with a new challenge, which I didn't think of before I started filming this video. Okay, so theoretically, castle's closed. He used the ladder from the inside. It's on the inside. He climbs up here. Alright, he's up here. Gun's way over here, and you can't get to it anyway. You can't squeeze in there. There's no friggin' way. So let's take a look here. Let's see what we can figure out. Inside the castle, you can't see it because I don't have enough lighting. There's a lot of room there to man this gun. But when this is closed, they can't fit up there. So here's another problem. If you have your castle opened, then you go to close it. They're on here, on this platform. And the gun's up here. And they can no longer man the gun. However, this gun was designed to protect Castle Grayskull when on the outside. So is the platform on the inside? And part of the gun is sticking out on the outside, and they're actually in here, but this piece here is not to scale to what the figures are. You had the same problem on the original Grayskull. Now this obviously is the scale, because you can get a figure up there. If they're a little smaller than your average He-Man figure, I can get a bunch of figures up here at one time. And I think that with the He-Man figures, I can maybe get 1, 2, maybe 3 up there. Not comfortably, but look here, I got these guys all up here comfortably. So with that being said, the main issue now is this, the gun. How to get to it. How to gain access. And what is the deal? If it's supposed to be up here, this should not be blocking this. Let me give you an example. That piece there on the original castle is on this side. Now, see how this is open? Now, let's say this gun is on the platform up here. This is open. You could fit a figure on top there without this being any way, shape, or form in the way, because it slides way up here. So I guess my point is, because this is the same thing, but they scaled it down to size, so, and scaled it back so that this part's more open. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know if we'll ever figure out how to get this to where a guy is manning it. the only possibility. Like I said, he can walk across the roof and just like that. The only thing I could see it happening. Anyway, that's all I got for you for right now. I hope I explained it the best way I can. And I'll see you guys next time. And remember, until next time, knowing isn't just half the battle, it's the whole damn war. Now that saying that I just said there is on my other channel. So if you like toy reviews and any sort of thing like that I'd like, go check it out on my other channel. Link is in the description. Good night, everybody.